What's going on, everybody? Rob A here, and today we're taking a look at Transformers The Last Knight, Legion Class, Drift, and Crosshairs. This is Wave 2 of the Legion Class figures to come out from Transformers The Last Knight. Included in this wave is also Megatron. I did skip over that guy because I did get Megatron in the Megatron Bumblebee 2-pack from Toys R Us. And if you want to see my review on that guy, you can go ahead and take a look at the Bumblebee / Megatron review available on my channel, and if I think of it, I'll add a link here in this video as well. Spoiler alert, I really like that Legion class figure. It's pretty good. So, these guys, however, are brand new to me. I don't know if we've had a Legion class Crosshairs and Drift before, but I don't recall them, and I certainly don't own any other versions of these characters in this size class, so they are new to me. So, taking a look, they look pretty nice inside the packaging, right off the bat. These do retail for about $6.99, $7 a piece, so, you know, take that as you will. Looks like Drift transforms in 4 steps and Crosshairs in 6, and there's not a whole heck of a lot else to say about them in the package. So let's just go ahead, get these guys open, and we'll check them out right now. Alright guys, so here we have Drift and Crosshairs in their vehicle modes, and let's take a look at these guys. They both roll just fine, nothing really spectacular to expect there. They do have just clipped on little wheels, but they, you know, they work well enough. You can see the robot modes under here, and it is worth noting that Crosshairs is substantially larger than Drift here. You can kind of see, put them both together. He is quite a bit larger and feels certainly heftier. It's also worth noting that Crosshairs does have this nice Autobot symbol printed right on the hood, whereas Drift really has almost no paint whatsoever in vehicle mode other than this little red stripe that's kind of going around the front of the vehicle. He does have a little molded Autobot symbol. It's a little hard to make out, but you can kind of tell what's going on there, so that does work. And overall, I mean, both of their vehicle modes are fairly nice. Nothing special, but nothing terrible. And I definitely do not have these guys in any other version of these molds, so that's pretty cool. There we go, Crosshairs and Drift. Now, transformation on these guys is super easy. So what we're going to do here is we're going to grab Crosshairs, and first thing first, we're going to go ahead and separate the arms from the side here, just like that, and just like that. They peg in just by these little tabs, but those tabs hold fairly well, like better than you would expect them to. You can hear it clip in pretty solidly there, and you hear it clip when it comes out. So there you go, you've got the arms all done. And now we just go ahead to the back and pull this entire section up. This is going to become his long coat, so we're just basically bringing this up and putting it against his back like that. And now we separate the legs, flip down the feet, just like so, and flip the chest out to allow us to show the robot mode head. And we'll give a close-up of this guy. Fairly nice sculpting overall. They did a pretty good job, especially at this size. Nice paint work there with his eyes and face picked out in silver. The only thing is the robot mode is a little disappointing. I mean, it looks nice. He's got the kind of thin, like svelte sort of you know, body type that Crosshairs has, but the arms are kind of awkward, just the way that they're positioned. They're all the way up here in his shoulders, his upper shoulders is where they're pegged in, so they do have a tendency to look really long, because they are really, really long, and there's no elbow or anything, so they just end up being these big, long stalks that kind of just seem a little bit awkward, sort of, no matter where you put them, so you kind of just have to have them out to the sides like that at all times, because if you have them down, they just kind of blend into the side of the body and almost reform that car mode, which just looks kind of crummy. The legs are ball jointed here, you can see, And we've got more of the coat kind of molded onto the legs. There is a screw here, but it is not a leg joint, unfortunately. But you can get some fairly decent range out of those legs, and you do get a foot pivot as well. Head can go back and forth just due to that transformation joint. But other than that, not really much to say about Crosshairs. So there he is. Moving on to Drift. And as you can see, Drift is just a black Bugatti-esque vehicle. And there he is just underneath. So let's go ahead and get this guy transformed. And to do that, we're going to go ahead and same thing as Crosshairs. Basically, we're just going to bring the arms out to the sides. They're going to get caught on stuff. There we go. They're going to come out to the sides on these little stalks. So they definitely have a lot more width to them. There we go. And now for the legs. The legs are actually pretty interesting. We're going to bring the leg down like this, and we're going to bring this section out right here, and we're going to actually rotate it around like that and then bring it forward, and that's going to become the foot. So do the same on the other side. Bring it around, rotate it, and that becomes the foot. And then there you have Drift done. Now, Drift's a weird one. For starters, his arms are on ball joints at the shoulders, as you can see. But these really thin stalks going on here. I'll show a quick close-up of his face. Very nice sculpting, again, on Drift here. And you can see, again, that Autobot symbol molded into the chest. So the weird thing is, his arms are on ball joints, but because of these really thin stalks that they're attached to, it's very difficult to actually pose them without popping them off that ball joint, and even more so, causing me to freak out as though I'm going to eventually just get enough leverage to just snap this little arm right off, which does not instill confidence at all. So that's something to be aware of. But you do get a little bit of upward shoulder movement because of the stalk here, and you can move that. I might just need to shave down the ball joint a little bit on this side. It's certainly not as bad on this side, and you do get a nice range of motion when the stalk is working properly. The legs are also a little bit weird. He does have a ball joint at the hips. This one is a little loose again. So he does have that going on. He does have a knee joint, sorta, kinda. He can bend his knees back just a smidge. He can bend his knees forward just a smidge. And his legs are strange looking, because they're they're chicken legs. Basically, he has the digitigrade legs, but he doesn't have those in the actual films. So it's a little bit strange, but I guess you could tell yourself that his leg is straight down here, and this is just all armor padding that kind of sticks out and makes it look like that. But it is just a little bit weird. Also, just the pegs that peg into his vehicle mode do kind of get in the way when you're actually trying to pose him in a standing position. So just something to be aware of. Other than that, he does stand on his own and does so fairly easily. So not really a loss necessarily, but certainly not the strongest. I think having Megatron in this same lineup is a little bit strange, because Megatron is such a strong Legion class figure, and these guys are both okay. So it's actually nice to have Megatron in there to kind of round it out, but I would have liked to see a little bit more with these guys, but overall, for their size class, they're not bad. I think Crosshairs wins out just a little bit because he looks a lot nicer just standing, whereas this guy looks a little bit awkward. And yeah, so that's it for my review, guys. If you differ in opinion, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but Yeah, they're not bad overall. So that's going to do it for this review, guys. I want to thank you so very much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. It really does help me. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more. I'll be back with more Transformers before you know it, so stick around in the meantime. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.